And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from Sycamore Crossing in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. This is something we started last month, and we're trying to do it at least on a monthly basis. We're just having a little 10-minute brief Fannin County report with the Commission Chair, Stan Helton. And this morning, we're joined by Robin Gazaway, the CFO. I'm going to leave it to the chairman to put her on the spot. I'm staying in the middle. I should have worn my referee stuff. Chairman, how are you this morning?
I am great today, Brian. Hope you are too.
I'm doing good. Let me tell you the direction I want to go, because again, keeping this on an informational subject matter for the citizens once a month. The county audit just came in, and I've been listening to county audits, whether actually it's probably one of the most boring meetings of the year. Did I say that out loud? But you know, you have an audit. You agree with that? Yeah, the auditor comes up and stands up there and you're like, oh, when's this end? But my words, and you can clear me up, but there's deficiencies, and it's not uncommon in a city or a county that they find what they call deficiencies and they make recommendations, okay? And just to be clear, this audit is last year's audit. So right. Tell us what was found in general, how you approached it with your administration, and the direction you plan to go in. Give us a couple things in the audit that you're going to change, direction that should solve any deficiencies they talked about.
Well, you know, Brian, I believe transparency is a key thing. And when I was running for this office, I promised the citizens that I was going to treat their money just like I do my own. You know, it's their money, it's not mine to spend. And I felt like very strongly, obviously, that finances is something, $27 million a year of county finances that taxpayers are funding. And that's so important for us to be responsible, handle our finances professionally, and to watch out for every dime, every penny, and justify it. And when we looked at the audit, if you go back to 2015, Fannin County's audit had 24 either material or significant deficiencies in the audit. And then of course, Robin had been running Union County's finances for 12 years. And when I was aware, and we were searching for a CFO, same auditing firm had Union County, and they had one deficiency, only one. We had 24. And this year, we had 22 deficiencies. And this is basically the information that hasn't in the past, to my knowledge, gotten out to the public, and apparently not even the post commissioners. And I felt like that's something we needed to start doing. If we're really going to be serious about watching money, let's be open with it. The post commissioners, I welcome everything that they can do to help us watch money. And then we went ahead and decided to put this on our county website. So that's what I was getting ready to ask. This is public. You can go to the Fannin County website and find the audit.
Yeah.
And what the hope is here is that we're making all these deficiencies out there available, and where we're right here now with 22, as we go forward next year and the year beyond, what we want to do is see that come down, and my goal personally is to see that go to zero. I don't know
what are two or three, and you know, let's make sure for the viewers at home, because it's my goal for accurate information. 22 like sounds bad, but what are two or three of the top ones that you have to immediately say we got to focus on right now? We got to rein this in. What are a couple of them?
Well, the most common one, and it was in several different places, was the not timely deposits being made. That was corrected immediately as soon as I came in, because that's the first thing I noticed, that they were only making like weekly deposits. They really need to make them at least twice a week, if not more, if we can get it even more. Union, I usually did them, you know, daily, if we had enough money. The other one was that they made an issue was the fuel. And if you went to the last county meeting, we're working on that. We're going to use what was called a WEX card, and we'll keep up with all the fuel, and it'll be inventory.
Well, let me ask you a question, because when I had a trucking company had trucks, I had that card. So is that something where they have to put their PIN number in so you know who put it in, and have to put odometer readings and things like that? And and every vehicle has a card. Is that that's a system? Because I used to use that. So that would give you clarification of where that fuel money's being spent.
Exactly, in which department and which person even.
Now, is that something you've already done or already put in place?
We just signed the contract, and that's going to happen pretty soon. And it's basically every vehicle that comes into our road department and fuels up. We're going to have information, a lot of data on each vehicle that we can track and manage by department. Each department head will be able to look and see if, for example, tax assessors are going to have that, and the chief appraiser can look at a report and look at which vehicle, how many miles, what the miles per gallon. That's a real tip.
I used to, and the reason I asked is I used to be able to sit right here on the computer and it would update, and I could actually see as the month went, in real time what was happening.
And the reason that's important is we had right at, in 2016, 100,000 gallons of fuel that was purchased and run through those pumps. And the total value of that, of course, the oil market's been low, was a little over $200,000. But all it takes is one little missile from that, what's his name over in North Korea, some,
Yes.
mentally ill, whatever his name is.
Oil could be trading up here this afternoon, right?
It could double overnight. I mean, it can. So you're talking, you could go from 200,000.
Yes, you did bring that up, but that is coming through Corpus Christi, and that is big, and that could happen immediately. So those are two. Is there a third one that sticks out? That
segregation of duties.
Segregation of duties.
That one usually can't be fixed, especially in the small offices.
Right.
Because there's just, you can't employ enough people and have them busy to keep that from happening.
I have actually heard the segregation of duty. I've heard that in many audits and other places where, unless you're in a really large county, can you segregate some of the duties, but you have to do some overlapping in some of the rural counties.
Especially with the elected officials.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me just say this out there, folks. The reason I wanted to talk about the audit is, yes, I believe in being a good steward of the taxpayers' money. And how many millions did you say? 27?
27 million.
27 million. Department heads in different offices. Have you had department head meetings on their part of their audit? I mean, what are some of the things that you're trying to bring in that you think you can bring down 22? And I don't want to put you on the spot because obviously next year you don't know what you can get that down to. So what are some of the internal things that are happening in there?
It's in process. We haven't completed that yet, but it's basically just trying to communicate. And here's the thing. This is not all just under the commission board. This is the entire courthouse. We're talking about other elected officials.
Exactly.
So it's not made me, I'm sure, real popular with other elected officials because we're showing what everybody is doing wrong. I mean, we're showing what we do wrong and what they're doing wrong. And it's all public information. So we're just trying to correct those on a timely basis and try to tie that in with our budget as we're preparing for next year's budget and kind of tie all that in together. We'll be meeting with all those officials about the budget, and we're going to tie that in with the same discussions.
Well, I tell you what, it's the citizens' money is the way I always look at it, and if it's causing a couple people some heartburn, get some antacid, okay? So I said that, you didn't, all right? Or maybe keep some in the desk drawer. Here you go. I'm sorry. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay. Anything else before we go that you wanted to make sure we shared this morning, maybe financially or about the county, in your report this morning that you want to let the citizens know is taking place or something?
We're going real hard with this chip sealing process, and at the same time we have bids out there that we're going to make final decisions on to do some asphalt. Getting roads paved. We're working on the roads. We're doing improvements there. And hopefully this year, this chip sealing process is new for a lot of the guys. And as we learn and become more efficient with that, we should be able next year to start off just gangbusters and be able to be more efficient and to do more in the same amount of time. That's always trying to find improvements. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, I want to say sharing information with the citizens is a home run with me, and I'd just be candid. I would discuss something if it was the other way, but that is a home run with me. It escapes me, but in the audit there's a letter that comes with it. What is that officially called?
The management report.
The management report. The management report. I don't want to say it's the first time because I'd let them say that, but I think the current post commissioner said that this is the first time they actually saw the management report.
Right.
Is the management report public also?
It's right in there.
Right in there.
It's
So
right in there.
not only are the post commissioners seeing it for the first time, the public can read it too.
Yes.
That's right.
Online.
Yeah.
Folks, the Fannin County website, and I do want to give a shout out for that, for you out there that want to keep up with the information, what's going on. Your agendas are on there, so you can see when they're having meetings. They actually post special called meetings when necessary. Workshops are happening, and the website is very interactive. If you have or live on a county road out there and you have any question or concern, you can actually upload pictures, send a little note to the chairman, and tell them what your concern is. You can read the audit. Some people sit there and read the audit. There's three
We need
people.
some sleeping.
They need something to go to sleep. If you want, you can't sleep at night. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It wasn't that bad, right?
No, not too bad.
So that's why we're going to make you come again. Chairman, we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And that is our Fannin County Chair Commissioner report with Stan Helton and CFO Robin Gazaway. And we're going to try to do this once a month and zero in on something for you, the citizens out there. Take us to break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. What is next? I got so much. Can anybody tell me what I'm doing next? Oh, it's All-Star Panel time. I should have noticed Rick was over there and the lovely Jane. We'll be back right after these messages.